All right, more on linear programming, just more practice. So Summit High is replacing lockers in the coach's office. Now this one's a tricky problem, and I'll get to it why. They have narrowed down the choice to two sizes, medium and large. So right off the bat, you know there are your two X and Y. Again, if you want to use M and L, that's fine. Now, it gets confusing here because it says there's a bunch of numbers in here. It says the medium has a volume of 36 cubic feet, whereas the large has 44 cubic feet. But then it gets into square feet. Okay? But if you skip ahead to the question, what is the maximum value? Look backwards. If you're trying to find the z equals, you're trying to find the objective function, look at the question first. That will tell you what it's trying to maximize or minimize, and that leads into your objective function. So if we know volume is what we're trying to maximize, that means this is the objective function. So 36x plus 44y. Okay, I didn't talk about this the other day, but this is another clue. Usually, most of the times, we're talking about profit. But sometimes they throw a curveball like this one, but this is a surefire way of knowing what your z is, what your objective function is. Look at the question they're asking you. What are they asking you to maximize or minimize? And that will give you your z equals. Okay. Now we look for the normal stuff. It says the medium occupies 6 square feet and costs $54. A large occupies 8 square feet and costs $60. All right. It says they're limited to 256 square feet and they have $2,100. Okay. So we'll come back. We'll get a little bit of this out of the way first. So we can do cost or size. It doesn't matter. I want to get cost out of the way first. So the medium is 54. All right. And the large is 60. And they only have $2,100. That's the maximum amount of money they can spend. So it's less than or equal to $2,100. Now spacing. The medium is 6 square feet. The large is 8 square feet. And they have a maximum of 256 square feet. Now, usually we say x is greater than 0, y is greater than 0, but they have this extra little statement in here. It says at least 8 large lockers are wanted. They want at least 8 large lockers. Okay? So that means y has to be greater than or equal to 8. And therefore, we're just going to stick with, we don't care how many medium lockers as long as it's more than 0. Now we graph. So, when you look at your numbers, you want to see what kind of numbers you're going to need ahead of time. Okay? So, like, you kind of figure out your 0 points before you get your numbers. When you got big numbers like this, so I figure out ahead of time by, like, finding out my different points that I'm going to count by 2s. Because this is a 20 by 20 grid, so I'm going to count by 2s and go up to 40. Okay? So I'm going to just start labeling 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so forth. I'm going to do the same thing on the Y, but I'm just going to count by 4s down here. Still count by 2s, but I'm only going to number 4, 8, 12, skipping a line, obviously, 20, 24, skip a line, 28, skip a line, 32, 36, and 40. Now I'm going to finish my Y. 26, 28, 30, 32, and if you want to just do every other line, that's fine. 40. Okay? Now, I'm going to do my 0 points. Okay? I'm going to just do my cover-up method. So, if I cover up, Come on. If I cover up 54 and I do 2100 divided by 60, I get a nice number of 35. Okay? So I can put y at 35, which is going to be right in between 34 and 36. And then I'm going to move this over here and divide 2100 by 54. Ooh, I get 38.8 repeating. So that's kind of a nasty one. So since we want to be accurate, the zero method is not going to work. So I'm going to go back to the beginning and I'm going to, oopsie, that is not what I wanted to have happen. There we go. Go back to writing. And I'm going to do y equals mx plus b. So 60y is going to be less than or equal to negative 54x plus 2100. I'm going to divide by 60, which is going to give me negative 9/10 x plus 35. Now, I already knew the 35, okay? But I'm going to go down 9, right 10, okay? Just going to have to do a little bit of math here, all right? So 35 minus 10 will be 25, but I'm going to 26, okay? I'm going to be going here. I'm going to go over 10. So 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'll put a dot right there. I went down 9, right 10. Now I'm going to go down 9 again. So 26 minus 9 is 26 minus 10 would be 16, so that'd be 17. So I'm going to go down to 17, which is in between, and I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's going to be in between at 17. And 17 minus 9, 17 minus 10 would be 7, so that would be 8. So I'm going to go to 8, and I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And that should be enough. Now I'm going to use a straight edge. A little slow on the uptake. Try to get this to actually line up. And my thing is frozen. Good enough. Now we're going to go back to the other one, which was 6x plus 8y is 256. I'll tell you right now, it's also not going to be very nice. So we're going to do a little bit of math here. 8y less than or equal to negative 6x plus 256. Divide by 8 everywhere. Less than or equal to negative 3 over 4 x plus 32. So again, we're going to get a nice spot right here at 32. So we got 32 and 35. And we're going to be counting down 3, right 4. So remember, we're counting by 2s here. Okay? So 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be right there. Oh, wait, hold on. So we're counting by 2s. Oh, no, it's going to be right here. So we're counting by 2. So 1, 2, 3 would be 2, 4. Sorry, be right there. And then down 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. And down 1, 2, 3 in the middle, 2, 4. Almost hitting that line, but not quite. Down 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. Oh, and look at that. We have a point of intersection. I'm going to make a note of that right there because that's kind of important. And then down 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4. And that's enough to give us a line because we've already got our point. And watch it dance around. And it's just kind of flying on its own right now. Oh, look at that. It's magic. Stop. Just please stop. There we go. All right. So that worked. So we have a point of intersection right there. Now we're going to put the easy ones in. We also had x greater than or equal to 0. That's easy. Y greater than or equal to 0 to 8. So we're just going to put a horizontal line here. Notice we also have a point of intersection right there. It's kind of important. All right. And it's going to be less than 2 slant lines above the horizontal line. So our points that we're looking for are right here to right here, up to this point right there, and to right there. And that's our point of intersection. That's our area of constraint. So what are my corner points? They are 0, 8, 0, 32, 20, 17. That was, yep, that one right there in the middle. And we have 30, comma 8. Whoops. 30, comma 8. Now, we plug those in. I've already done the math. So when we plug those in, we end up with $352 here, $1,408 here, $1,468 here, and $1,432. All really close, but there's our winner, $1,468. So that means 20 medium lockers, 17 lockers that are large for a maximum volume of 1,468 cubic feet. All right. We've done ones like this before. Store sells 2 brands of snacks. Package of Sunhill. So I'm just going to say this is Sunhill. Costs $3 and contains 10 ounces of peanuts, 4 ounces of raisins, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole mix. And then we have Bear Valley. So we'll just put Bear here. It says, what's the minimum cost? Okay. So that means we're going to go look for the words cost up here. And there we have it. Our Z equals 3x plus 2y. Again, if you just go backwards, you might want to hit, even write this in your notes. Start here for Z. Kind of tells you. Okay? So you go backwards, and that will give you your Z function. Now we look at our constraints. So I'm going to come down here and do like we've done before in the notes. I'm going to make a little area here. And I'm going to say I have my Sun Valley and my Bear. And we have peanuts and raisins and oats. And we just look back up and it says for Sun Hill, it's 10 ounces of peanuts, 4 ounces of raisins, and 2 ounces of oats. So that's X, X, X. And for Bear, it's $2 for peanuts, or 2 ounces of peanuts, sorry. 4 ounces again of raisins, 8 ounces of oats. It's heavy on the oats. So we put our plus, plus, plus. Now, back up the story, it says they want at least, very important here, at least 20, 24, and 24. So, 20, 24, and 24. But notice it said at least, so we want greater than or equals on each of these. And those are our constraints. I'm going to just put an arrow up here instead of rewriting them. We already have our constraints. The only other important ones we need is x is greater than or equal to 0 and y is greater than or equal to 0. But otherwise, those are our 3 constraints right there. Okay. Now this one's an easy one for the cover-up method. So I'm just going to count by ones because they're small numbers. And that's as far as I need to go on the X, the Y. And here I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 on the Y. On the X, because I already have worked it out. So, cover-up method. Since 10 and 2 both go into 20, I'm going to cover up my 10. That means my y, 20 divided by 2, is 10. So I'm going to put a dot right here at 10. I'm going to move my cover up over here. That's going to give me 20 divided by 10 is 2. So my x is 2. Right there. And I'm going to connect those two. And you see how it goes through 1, 5. That makes sense because it is a -5 slope. We're good to go. All right. 4, 4, and 24. That's easy. Same number. It's going to be 6 here and 6 here. So we're just going to connect 6 to 6. If my possessed arrow will stop moving. And notice we have a nice little point here at 1, 5. So we do have a point of intersection right there at 1, 5. We may end up using it, we may not. We'll see. And our last one's really easy. Cover up to 2. Y is 3. Move this over, cover up the y. X is 12. Take a straight edge, connect those two. Notice we have another point of intersection right here. Now, since these were minimums, all of these are going to be going up and this way, like this. So this is kind of like a net. So we're looking to make a net here. And the net is going to go down here like so, here, and there. So we're going to use this point, this point, this point, and this point. Those 4 points. And we're basically just getting a net that is getting out here. Because remember, we're looking for a minimum cost. So we have 0, 10, 1, 5, 4, 2, and 12, 0. Which we're going to come up here, and we're going to write those out. 0, 10, 1, 5, 4, 2, and 12, 0. And if we plug that into our objective function, we end up with 20, 13, 16, and a whopping 36. All right, so since we're looking for the minimum cost, that's going to be right here at 1 package of Sun Hill, 5 packages of Bear Valley for a minimum cost of $13. And we'll get into the plan. So this is kind of similar to the previous one with the peanuts and everything. It says Carla's Garden Shop. She makes 2 kinds of mixtures for planting. Gardening mixture requiring all this, and a potting mixture requiring these numbers. So I'm just going to come down here again like before and say I've got garden, I've got potting, and we have soil or sand, peat, and fertilizer. All right. So if you read, it says gardening requires 2 pounds of soil. It requires 1 pound of peat and 1 pound of fertilizer. And the potting requires 1 pound of soil, 2 pounds of peat, and 3 pounds of fertilizer. So that's going to be plus, plus, and plus. So obviously we're going to say that X is garden, I can spell, and Y is potting. And for objective function, I'm just going to write C below because we already have it. Now, I have the mixtures, but I need my maximums. So it says she has 16 pounds of soil, 11 peat moss, and 15 fertilizer. So 16, 11, 15. So my numbers go 16, 11, 15. That's the maximum amount they have. So all these are going to be less than or equal. Okay? And for the most point, these are going to be pretty easy to do cover-up method on. So I'm going to just number by ones. But I'm going to count by, I'm just going to label by 2. So 2, skip a line, 4, skip a line, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And that's all I really need. And out here, I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 is all I'm going to need there. All right, so for my first one, 2x plus 1y, 16. If I cover up my x's, I get y is 16. Easy peasy. And if I cover up my y's, I get x of 8. So those are my 2 lines. I'm going to connect them now, hopefully. See how that goes. That's okay. It's a little bit off, but we'll adjust. All right, my next one. Not too bad. If I cover up my x's, I get y of 5.5. So not too big of a deal. So I got 2, 4, here's 5. 5.5 is going to be right there in the middle. And x of 11. So that's easy right there. So we're going to connect 5.5 and 11. And hope it doesn't move too much. Okay. Now, we do have a point right here. It's a little bit off, but I will tell you that is the 0.72. We will use that later. Okay. And then x, 3y, 15. So if I cover up the x, y is 5. So I'm going to be right underneath the 5.5. That's going to be really close. And if I cover up y, x is 15. So that's out here at 15. So I'm going to connect those 2 dots, 5 and 15. And it's just bouncing on its own, but that's okay. We'll get through it. Now I will tell you, it kind of the lines moved, but I do have something here at 3, 4. Okay. So if I go under, I also have this one at 7, 2. The lines did kind of bounce around. If I go under, it's going to be this area right here. Okay. And my corner points, I'll highlight those. My corner points are going to be 0, 0. Okay. 0, 5, this one right here. The 3, 4. The 7, 2. And the 8, 0. So this area right here is my overlapping area. So my corner points, let's write them down. 0, 0, 0, 5, 8, 0, 3, 4, and 7, 2. Oh, sorry. This should have been C below this. My objective function is my Z-score. Okay, we're trying to maximize income. So they told us it was $3 for the gardening soil and $5 for the potting soil. So what we're going to do now is we're going to plug each of these numbers, these points, into 3x plus 5y. This is obviously going to be 0. 0 times 3 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 0 is, well, 24. 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 4 is 20. Add those together, you get 29. And 7 times 3 is 21, plus 2 times 5 is 10. That's 31. That is my maximum right there. So my solution is 7 gardening, 2 potting, for $31. And that is it.